Morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's always good to be in the company of people who seek to develop skills. So Africa is facing a serious crisis. We do not have young farmers. They are far and in between. How do we develop a new cadre of farmers that understands this business? And I want to emphasize, we need to distinguish between production of food on a large scale and welfare interventions. And sometimes it seems to me we get it confused. Today, I will speak specifically on how do we develop a new cadre of farmers that can supply South Africa, Africa and the rest of the world with food. And I'm changing the concept. Farmer lives in the agrarian period. The agripreneur is the person that understands the technology that is required to develop food on a large scale. You know the 5 production factors: resources, capital, labor, technology. That is significantly changing the landscape. The entrepreneur that must combine all of those production factors. Key drivers: land, water. We're in the process of dealing with the land question, and we want to see that young black farmers get access to land, get access to water. Capital. The land bank is there. Our financial institutions are there. They must make capital available so that young people can start farming. Labor. We've got plenty of labor, but we know our historical context. We must make sure that the farm laborer of today is skilled for the future. Many of our farm workers are getting absolutely obsolete. I just drove yesterday through the Boland, where in the past, literally 1,000 workers would harvest grapes. Now there's one machine clearing that entire space and delivering the grapes, and people can start making wine. Technology is changing the landscape. Technology, I've spoken about that. But you need to understand the business of farming. It's one of the most difficult, the most riskiest. If you come to me, you tell me you're 60 years of age, you've got a pension of 5 million, you want to buy a farm because you like cattle farming, I tell you, take your money, put it in the bank, go buy your steak at Checkers, because you're going to lose that money within the next 2 months. That's how technology is changing the world. We used to drive a little tractor, we're now combining it with computers, and now the whole thing is integrated with smart technology. We also see that we've got a critical problem in South Africa. We waste billions in terms of food that goes off. But at the same time, you know, for each apple that you produce, you need approximately 50 to 100 liters of water. Times the amount of apples that goes rotten, or any other fruit, then you realize why we sit with a water crisis. So how do you give a heartbeat to this agricultural entity? First and foremost, you must give this thing a nervous system, right? You must be clear. What do you want to achieve? Many young people come to me to say, "Sir, I want land." I said, "You like a guy that asked me to give you a shop. What is the need that you want to address?" Right? Start at the end, with the end result in mind. Secondly, you must give it an immune system. What are the values that you want to base on it? And I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you think farming is easy, try to sell your products to Woolworths. Right? They've got their traceability schemes in place. They will tell you, listen, keep your products, it's not up to standard. Because who's going to complain? Not Woolworths, you. And have you seen how our people love Woolies? Then you must give it eyes and ears, marketing system. You must understand the dynamics of marketing, your product. Our retail players are ruthless. The buyers will come to you, they will squeeze the last drop of blood out of you to make sure that you sell that poor apple that you have worked so hard on to grow, to sell that at the cheapest rate possible. Because they want to sell it at the cheapest rate possible, but they walk away with the bulk of the profit. You must give it an arm. You must give it hands and fingers. Labor is important. Train your laborers, treat them well. Make sure that they work within a decent working space. They must understand the importance of productivity, and how productivity leads to growth. But then you must give it a respiratory system. Most of the farmers that I talk to, they struggle with direct and indirect costs. They can't survive. You must give it a cardiovascular system. That's for your products. What are you going to put on the market? And you cannot just stick to one product. You must you must open up your farm so that you have a diversity of products. You must give it a muscular system. Your administration must be in place. Your policies. You must give it a digestive system to take in the resources. And you must utilize those resources effectively and efficiently. You must give it a skeletal system. Your infrastructure. He said, and I'll show you later on, when I go to many farms that are now transferred to communities, how those farms within a space of a few months just fall apart because people do not maintain their infrastructure. Hormonal system. Our farmers are battling out there. I went to speak to a number of black farmers in Lesotho or close to the Lesotho border. They're up in arms because stock theft is rife. Their stuff gets stolen. And when they act, then the police come for them. Reproductive system. You must be part of a network. You cannot go into this alone. Why are white farmers successful? Because they start forming networks at local level. That local network forms part of the provincial network with the national network. You need to grow strong networks. You must give it legs and feet and toes. You must do your monitoring on a daily basis. Young people come to me and say, listen, I've got land, but I want to maintain my job in the cities. I said, my broer, bly weg. It's not going to say, you cannot farm and sitting in the city and farm with remote controls, right? Leg, feet and toes evaluation. Have your audit systems in place. You talk to many farmers, they can't show you what their profit margins was last year, what their expenses was last year. And they cannot follow a graph that tells you, okay, you've started there, that's how you've grown your business, your assets, etc. Then, very important, you must give it another arm. That's management. You as the farmer, you must understand your business. Stay out of farming if you do not have the necessary background and training. Many young people tell me, I want to farm. I said, did you attend a college? Did you attend the university to understand what agriculture is all about? No. I said, please stay away if you don't know it. Because you as a manager must understand strategy and growth. Now you tell me which of those parts are the most important. Huh? All of them, right? All of them. You didn't come here today without your head. You didn't come here without your heart, right? But what keeps it all together? Blood flow. Those systems must communicate with each other. And then we need government to create a pro-business policy environment where you as a farmer can compete with the best in the world. I tell you today, our poultry sector is down in the gutters. Why? Because we've opened up our borders and dumping is taking place on a large scale. And on top of it, they are facing avian flu, and on top of it, they are facing the drought, and on top of it, they're facing a whole barrage of factors that are really impacting negatively on their business. But government has another responsibility. I work with Honest Poort. Honest Poort is supposed to develop vaccines because to prevent animal diseases. And I want to know, where are the scientists at Honest Poort? Where are the people that must make sure that the poorest of the poor get access to vaccines? Big white commercial farmers can't afford it. Big black commercial farmers can't afford it. But if one poor farmer, your neighboring farmer, if those animals get sick, right, that pest or that disease can easily destroy your cattle as well. So the entire system must work as a unit. There's the Moketsis. Beautiful people. They farm with cattle, goats, and chickens. 121 Nguni and 30 Bonsmaras, right? They struggle to get capital because their land wasn't theirs. It remains state land. And with state land, you cannot actually use it as collateral. And that's the issue that we need to confront if we want to change the system of food production. It took them 2 years to get the recapitalization funding they applied for. My goodness, you must plant this year so that you can make a profit at the end of the year. Imagine you must wait for another couple of years. For them, farming is a business, and a farmer has to have a plan and stick to it. But there's also a need to have fire in one's heart, determination, discipline, and total commitment. I visited some colored farmers in Ceres yesterday. They are into exporting of export nectarines. You must see how those guys farm. Yes, I'm almost done. The word failure is not in their vocabulary. Then this young man, you know what he did? He bought in wool from wool growers in the Eastern Cape. He took the isiXhosa patterns and is developing jerseys for the international market. You don't have to just be a farmer. There are many other opportunities in the value chain, right? This is the traditional gear. Is it Xhosa gear? Look what they did. They take it to the next level for a nice wedding. This lady came along and she designed the most beautiful patterns and clothings, and now they are doing modeling with those clothes. Look at this scarf, won the prize for the best design, and is based on Is it Xhosa motifs. Sometimes we disregard our indigenous cultural practices, and you know the value that's tied in there. Do you know the value that's tied up into indigenous cultural place names? The word Karoo, what does it conjure up? Quality meat. Rooibos. The French tried to steal the word rooibos. Sorry, it's ours. You must protect your indigenous names, because within the name, there's a lot of money. Within the word KFC, there's a lot of money and a lot of things that make you fat. Okay. In conclusion, we need to prioritize our agropreneurs. But, ladies and gentlemen, I am blunt this morning. I'm visiting farms all over South Africa and try to revive farms. Government has transferred more than 4,000 farms. And I often visit these farms, and this is what I see. Once thriving farms completely collapsed. Where's the young people? Where are the MBA graduates to take over those farms? Right? Stop playing politics. Get our young people to these places that they turn it around. Right? Look there. This is the pipes. I took this photo the other day. I went to Bethlehem, between Bethlehem and Rheede, one of the biggest apple farms that I've seen in my life, completely came to a standstill. You know the amount of job losses, the amount of money that government loses through the fiscus, because these are all export farms. They used to be export farms. But the intervention comes from the commodity sectors. Here we are training 150 of these farmers with the latest technologies. They are already producing between 200 and 3,000 tons of maize. And then this last photo, this is the end result. When people get trained, when they are passionate, and when they know what farming is all about. Thank you.